on mute. Definitely.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. It is week 2 of our 90-day game plan. We are in September and really rocking today. We opened up the day with introducing cookies and cream shake to the world, and so many orders are going through that we even crashed our system, which is absolutely crazy. So it's back up. If you had any problems this morning, no worries. It's all back and good, and orders are flowing. Who here has already tried the cookies and cream? Wave your hand or in the chat box say yes, and give us some kind of thought as to what you loved about the cookies and cream. It is a vanilla shake, little cream vanilla shake with little chunks of cookies. It's so good. So if you like cookies, cream, Oreo, anything like that, it is the easiest shake I think I have ever found to add some of our other flavors to. So I've been adding a little bit of mocha here and there. I add a little bit of the Dutch chocolate here and there. I haven't tried strawberry yet, but I'm interested. I had just a tiny bit of the chocolate mint left over. Kind of added that because cookies and cream, it's just like you can kind of go crazy with that one. It's like going to the ice cream store and you want 2 scoops of ice cream. One's cookies and cream. What else can you get to go with it? Peanut butter. I mean, the opportunities are definitely abundant. So have fun with that. But that part of bringing that out from a business standpoint is when you bring out a new seasonal shake like this, everyone goes crazy and they go absolutely wild. It is, I think so far today, I've had the highest cycles I've ever had from a brand new shake. So this is one that we know the world is interested in having and being a part of it. Maybe it's because kids love it. You know, who knows what the reasoning is. We really haven't had a vanilla shake other than vanilla for a very long time. And there's a lot of vanilla fans out there. So make sure that you are really sharing this with as many people as you can. Text them, private message, do a video. We're going to have a few days left where this is available. It's not going to sell out today or tomorrow. They ordered so many. They allowed people to purchase up to 20, which I've never seen in the past. So that really gives us the indication that they have a huge inventory available. So go ahead, let people know about it. Let them rock this out and just watch what happens. This is also a great way to introduce isogenics to some of your friends that maybe haven't been willing to try it before. Maybe they weren't really thrilled about some of the options we had. You know, timing is everything, right? But there's something about cookies and cream that just kind of helps people relax. Maybe it's the kid in all of us. And offer this out to people. People are very likely to join our program once they start tasting some of our products. How many of you, as soon as you tasted the products, fell in love? I was one. I started off with the hydrate, orange hydrate. I put that in my water as I was walking around the track, and I'm like, oh, I need more of that. So let them experiment. If they just want to order 1 canister of the cookies and cream, let them. However, if they order 2 by, let's say, Friday, they can go into my drawing for $100. So they do not need to be associates or customers in order to be a part of my drawing. It's anyone and everyone that orders 2 or more canisters of that product. So make sure you share that with people, because who doesn't want a chance to win $100? Raise your hand if you have ever received one of our contests and promotions and received money from us. Right? Let's see some hands, because I know several of you have. Well, I can't see a lot of your videos. A lot of you have your videos off. Go ahead, throw your videos on. We'd love to see your face and say hi to everybody. So if you guys can do that, that'd be great. All right, real fast before we get to our speakers tonight, thank you guys for popping on your videos. We don't care if you're doing things, that's life. And one of the biggest things about being a part of network marketing, being a part of Isogenics, being a part of what we do, is that we live a life on top of this business, and we learn how to fit it into the pockets of our time. So if you guys are busy at home, or you're at the store, or you're in the car, or whatever is happening, go ahead, keep your video on and show us your life, because it really is true. And we all need to understand we don't have the perfect world of being able to hang out in the office and do phone calls all day. That's not how it works. Plus, that's kind of boring, right? Don't you want to get up and move around and talk to people, and maybe when you're out and about, or we just get done whatever we need to do. So always feel free to show what is happening in your background. Of course, if you have noise, go ahead and mute that because we want to be able to hear our speakers. But show your busy lifestyle. That is never offensive whatsoever. All right, so real quick, I just want to go over the 90-day game plan. We left it off last week talking about our why, and we had some super great whys come up from a lot of you. Angela, I love your why, and I don't know if you're going to be speaking about it tonight, but we talked the next day. So is it a part of your story at all?
No.
Okay, great. So she's like, Stephanie, I really have thought about my why, and I was kind of struggling, but then all of a sudden it hit me. I just need peace. I need peace in my life. And how many of you can agree and wave your hand that one of your whys is to be able to have peace in your life and not have to do the daily grind that so many other people are doing, right? You see all those hands, Angela? That has never been stated before out of 5 years of being a part of this business as well as, many other years with other businesses. And, so absolutely right on that we're all searching for more peace and wanting that. And this really, truly does allow you to have that peace. When we wake up every morning, if you're not working another job and you should have options. By not working that 9 to 5, it should give you the options of what do I need to do today to fulfill me. Now, you may not always take that, right? All right, you may not always give that gift to yourself, but that's a choice. But it's a choice. And if we have the choice of, I just need 15 minutes to just meditate, stare, relax, rest after the kids have gone to school, whatever it is, we have that choice. And so Isogenics really does give people that opportunity to add peace to their life. And of course, that's not the only way. Go ahead and chat in the chat box how you feel you either have peace because of Isogenics or how you feel you will receive it by receiving the why and being able to gain from everything this type of company has to give to you. Go ahead, let's hear some different things. So that was super great. I loved that. Thank you. The next is clarifying and connecting with your why. Page 3. I don't know how many of you sent me a message after doing page 3, but I had just so many people respond with, wow, page number 3, that was pretty crazy. And this is the first time they have ever had these questions. Just so you guys know this, we go through the 90-day game plan 2 to 3 times a year, and they've never had us answer those questions. So that was interesting that a lot of you really have had not necessarily difficulties, but it made you go deeper and think so much more about it. And then, of course, we have our goals and your business, your health, and your life goals. Know your vision and know exactly what that is. All right, then we're going to go ahead and I think we talked a little bit about the schedule and a business that fits in your life. How did you guys do coming up with your schedule and fitting Isogenics into your life, whether it's the half an hour, 2 hours, 8 hours, whatever it is for you? Go ahead and unmute real quick. Let's get a couple comments from you guys on how did you do setting out your schedule?
Can I go?
Yes, go ahead, Jill or Journey.
Okay, so I put my schedule together before I went to Celebration because I've done this enough times that I knew that when I came back from Celebration, I wasn't going to want to waste time making a schedule. I was going to want to have that already done. So I did that right before I left, and what I did differently this time is I set my appointment times up in stone. Like, one of the biggest things that I need to do, and Stephanie's going to hold me accountable for this, she doesn't know that yet, but she is making appointments. Because that's where I feel like I'll spend all day on social media, and I need to get the appointments, and I need to get out in front of people. I need to do more lives, and I need to show my face mark, and I know that. So I set my schedule up with my appointment times set, and then it makes people take you a little more seriously if you're not super flexible and super available, if that makes sense. So I have times available for everybody, but there's a lot of times where I'm like, well, look, I'm booked for this week. Well, what about next week, Monday at lunch? So that was something that I did very differently this year, and I think I'm going to see some pretty good results from that because I have my phone call time scheduled in, I have my social media time scheduled in, I have my email time scheduled in, I have my appointment time scheduled in, I have my workout time scheduled in, and I designed my life the way I wanted it to be. And I think it's going to work out a lot better for me this year than trying to just throw spaghetti against the wall and spray and pray. So that's, that's my 2 cents for the schedule thing, is come up with a schedule that's doable. We like to get ahead of ourselves and think we're like super freaking heroes. But honestly, if I don't start my day with journaling and I don't start my day with my Bible reading, it messes up the rest of my day. So those are the first things to get done. Then I have to take care of my son and get him to school, and then I do my workout, and then I have appointments, and then I have desk time. So I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying that's, like, I knew that walking into celebration what my schedule was going to be like when I got back, and I've done it perfectly. It's working great. I love having my appointments from 10 to 1. All I got to say. So
it's a down journey.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, it's a lot more fun that way. Life is a lot more fun when you're like, well, I got 10 and 11 open on Wednesday. And they're like, oh, well, I'll take 11. Okay, great. I have 24-hour cancellation policy. Please don't, let me know as soon as possible. And it's already working magic, just saying.
Oh, that's fantastic, Joni. Thank you so much for sharing that. I want to share a little tip that I learned a long time ago. Because back in the day when I actually did parties in people's homes, we would take our calendar, the handwritten calendar, because we didn't have anything else. And then we would schedule the next person's party. And our whole entire goal was just like what we do here, enroll in Rank Advance. But with those parties, it was to schedule more parties and, continue to schedule more or less. And so some of our tricks would be to write in every single thing that we do, have that all done, but in a different color, we would schedule whatever it else, just so that our calendar looked super busy. Because people love to schedule with busy people. If they don't get on your calendar and they see how full your calendar is, it's like, well, no big deal. She's got time. There's no rush for me to schedule anything. And it's very much of a mindset. So if you mark down every single thing it is, you're going to know how busy you are, but you're also going to portray that to other people. And you're going to give them the idea that they need to schedule with you immediately, because otherwise they're not going to. And if everybody else is scheduling with you, you must be good. So make sure you put every single thing in there and then just live by that schedule. I mean, obviously you can be flexible, but if you say you're going to do calls, just like Journey, sit down and do it. If you know that you need to work out at this time, then you do that. You really will keep you on schedule. Anyone else? And then we're going to move on to Damon and Angela. How else are you guys doing with your schedule? One person. I'll pick on you if you don't volunteer. Jody, you have too much of a beautiful smile and you're laughing right now. You get it.
I must admit I am a little off schedule with this back injury. So today I got some good news and cleared for walking at least. So I had a little bit of a rejuvenation because I got to go to the gym. So walked on the treadmill for about 20 minutes and it's renewed me a lot. But the muscle relaxers and everything have kind of taken their toll over the over the last week, and I've been requiring a lot of sleep. So I have not done page 3 of my game plan, and I missed our call last week because I was zonked out with muscle relaxers. So I'm just getting in. So I am a week behind and just starting. But I listened to Zach and Eden Slobin while I was on the treadmill, and they are so amazing. So if you guys haven't listened to any of their stuff yet, definitely do.
Good. And Jody, no worries about anything. We all go through different things in our life, and that's the beauty and flexibility of this type of business. And since you're, hanging out, laying down a little bit more, kind of resting, allow this to be that opportunity to bring some peace into your life. listen to a few more podcasts, think about things a little bit more, really read into the 90-day game plan, and take this time to do things you wouldn't normally have time to do. So thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad you're better.
Thank you. Getting there.
Annie, real quick, and Annie, I don't know if you can speak or not, but Annie is the queen of scheduling. However, she learned something new today, and something so important. So I'm sorry, I was going to have Damon and Angela speak, but real quick, I want to have Annie share a little bit because her schedule is packed. She owns basically 3 businesses, and running the household and 2 children, and it's a lot of stuff. Annie, what did you learn today that you know how important it is in your life now?
So one of the biggest things that kind of fired me up and inspired me to even do last week, if you guys realized, Stephanie was posting photos meeting with different people, and she was meeting for lunch, and I've always known the importance of meeting people. You know, you always get a different dynamic than a phone call. And just with her consistency last week, I said to myself, you know what, there's people that are wanting to meet me for lunch, like, just do it. And so today there was like an impromptu meeting, and I met up, and the dynamic of the connecting is a whole nother level. I mean, they get to learn about you, you get to learn about them on another level that they wouldn't share necessarily going back and forth on social media or even on the phone call, because they can't see you. So they don't know, oh my gosh, am I taking too much of her time? Is she bored? I gotta go. And most people, when they're on their phone, they're doing like a million things. And when you're face to face with somebody, I mean, I would hope that they're looking face to face with you. And so they're more present. And I learned so many different things just by going and setting up the meeting. Like, it was post gym, like I didn't even care about that. It was just like, I warned, hey, I'm coming out of the gym, but I'd be more than willing to. And that meant a lot for them, because it was like, man, she's taking time, and it's about me at this point, and so that was amazing. And I had an absolute amazing day connecting. Like, thank you, Stephanie, for doing that, because I mean, just your posting and sharing with us, even going in Game Changers and your live videos, it just like, it made sense. And you were sharing like a minute or 2 minute, but you were sharing, and it made a lot of sense. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No, you're so welcome. And I'm glad that you took it that way, Annie. And I haven't stopped. It's been pretty every day since celebration. And there are all the different things that Annie mentioned are really very true. I didn't give anyone a time frame because I didn't have to, but if you do need to give them a time frame, do. But the bonds that have been made in the last 7 days are absolutely incredible. Christina was actually one of my meetings, so we'll get Christina to smile or a thumbs up. But it is, there you go, cool. It is so important, and it's easy to kind of get out of our heads a little bit as to how important those belly-to-bellies are. And whether it's a team member or a potential or just a friend, it is so important to have that belly-to-belly actual relationship situation where you sat and chit-chat and really find out about them. Every single one of my appointments, of course, I went into with the goal of enrolling them. I didn't enroll every single one of them, but I left it with every single one of them will be joining one way or the other, whether it's last week, this week, or early next week. And so all of that was accomplished. I never have a goal of they're going to enroll today. It's relationship. I got them excited. I explained to them, and possibly in 1 to 2 minutes out of our 1.5 to 3 hour meetings, how much they want this, and they got it. But more importantly, people love to do things because they want to be around you. All right, if they love, trust, and respect you at all, they really do want to spend time with you. And you will have people join your business, whether as a customer or an associate or a business builder. Sometimes it's as simple as they want to be near you. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way whatsoever, but people in Isogenics, and hopefully you saw this at Celebration, you see it here in the team, there's something special. And it's the positivity and the motivation and the love and that we all generate, that we receive from Kathy and Jim down, and it just sprinkles on down. And people want to be a part of that, because when you look outside of our bubble, and occasionally I get outside of the bubble of people who don't really necessarily want to be a part of this, and they're not necessarily Isodence people, it's horrible out there, right? So they feel what we have to offer, and they really truly want to be a part of that. So again, have your goal of what you want out of it, but it doesn't have to happen that day. Just building that relationship. And exactly, Michael felt special meeting him last minute. And so many people don't have the opportunity to make friends. I've heard it more than once. I've heard it from a few of you on this call. A couple of my meetings that I met with last week, same situations. Either they don't have time, they never really get the ability to build a friendship with people, or they just don't really know how because they're constantly working. So it's really important to spend that time with people. But you have to find the right people. You know, I don't want you to just go out there and make all kinds of appointments just so you can have your belly to belly. And that's one thing I talked about in the live video. Schedule it with the people who are really going to build your business. All right, there's going to be a ton of people who want to meet with you and spend an hour, hour and a half learning how to do a weight loss program. That can be done through Zoom, FaceTime, phone, whatever it may be. But if they really truly want to meet you and you have the ability to really grow with them, and if you're going at it from a business perspective, do they have a network? Do they have people who have the time and the ability to... Okay. Okay, get Tyler. Okay, get Tyler. Did you guys all hear that? What did I say in the beginning? This is a home-based business and this is life. So you guys all heard that. 3 boys and things happen. Now he totally took me off track. But people are really searching for ways to find love, and you guys do have that ability, but you do need to schedule it accordingly. And so that if you're going in it for business purposes, look at their traits, look at their characteristics, look at their network, look at what do they have to offer you as well. There is nothing selfish about that, and I want to be very clear, because some people may take this as a selfish situation, but it's not. It's you've got to spend your time with the right people who are going to be able to take you to different places, and the only way they're going to take you is by you taking them. All right, so it's hand in hand, it's a win-win. And every single one of these meetings that I've had, we both had things that we wanted to gain from each other. There was no secret going into these meetings. We all own businesses, and they wanted to promote their business to me, and I wanted to promote my business. You're funny, Annie. I wanted to promote my business to them. But being a business owner and having the right characteristics and the right personality, you're always going to listen to what they say, and they're going to listen to what you have to offer, and they're going to take you seriously because they have that love, trust, and respect with you. So really sit there and think about who fits around my table. What characteristics do they have? What values do they have? Do they have something to offer me? And what do I have to offer them? And if it's a meeting and a meeting of the minds and you have the time, get together. It is so important. And the more you meet with other business owners, or even if they're not a business owner, but they get to make decisions. Okay, shut my door, babe. If they are able to make decisions, that's the same as a business owner, in my opinion. All right. So for an example, for me, and Brent discussed it a little bit last night, I'm diving into my previous career, just kind of happening, but real estate, right? So I'm meeting with title people, loan officers, home mortgage or home warranty is coming up in just a couple of days. I'm still booked every single day. There is someone I'm meeting with. Sometimes I hike with them. All right. So Susan Sly, if she's going to meet with someone, you have to go hike with her. She cannot give you that extra time. But if you're going to hike with her and she can exercise with you, she's on it. So fit them into your life if you can. You don't always have to sit there and have lunch with someone, because it's really, truly is productive, but there's other ways to be productive. So use it however it works for you. But get that belly to belly, but think about people who are really going to help you build. but be able to help them build. And guys, here's a secret. You guys all know the answer to this, right? Do we have some kind of gift to offer every single person that we know we can help them? Right? Raise your hand if you know that is true, right? You can help every single person you meet. Can they help you? Is the question. Are you able to portray to them? And this is a deep question. Are you able to portray to them that you absolutely can help them? Right? Whatever their situation is, you have some kind of solution for them. You just have to find out how they need your help. So when you go into a business meeting on, well, this is my business and this is my business, how can you help me? You have an extremely clear way to tell them how you can help them. If you can't do that, talk out loud, let someone know, but think about that a little bit. But when you walk in there, you will always have something to offer people. And that's what's going to make a difference of why they're going to want to have that meeting with you too. People want the friendships and the relationships, but be able to offer them, clearly offer them something. All right, I'm going to introduce Damon and Angela. Give me 1 second, baby. Okay, tell him never to do that again. All right, here we go, guys. So you've all been waiting for Damon and
It's raining.
Oh my gosh, rock stars from the beginning. When Aaron and I first began speaking, and I knew Aaron was a rock star, and Aaron is a rock star. But and this is your story, so go ahead, bear with me, okay, Aaron? Aaron was the gateway into knowing that he had rock stars. And Damon Hummel was that rock star. And Aaron's is like,
hey, Hannah,
this, and he's going to
pull right there.
1 second, I'm going to mute some
Back
people.
up and pull
Christy,
right there.
honey, if you don't mind muting, that would be fantastic. See if I can do that. Okay, fabulous. Thank you, guys. And he knew immediately. He's like, I've got this friend. I've got this guy. Oh my gosh, do I sound like Aaron right now? I've got this guy who he is so amazing. And he's done lots of businesses with me in the past, and he's just going to kill this. And I'm like, okay, fantastic, great, let's bring him on, Aaron. So then he brought on Damon, and Damon's a little quiet, right? We've all kind of gotten to know Damon a little bit. He's a little short with his words and a little quiet, but wow, how powerful is Damon? And then he brings in Angela, and there's this of these two powerful people who are really creating a storm. And hopefully by you guys watching their storm, whether you're a part of it or not, but you're watching it, hearing it, you're feeling their energy, they're bringing you up to reach your storm as well. Because that's the exciting part about when you're a part of a team and you've got someone that's just excelling. It's not about watching them and being jealous of anything. It's about, oh my gosh, did you see what they're doing and what they're doing? I want to do that. I can do that. If they're doing it, I can do it too. And that's the great thing about Angela and Damon. So they're going to share a little bit about the way that they work together, as how they're sharing with people, the words they're using, and how they're closing, because they close left and right. Their people rank advance. Their people are getting paid, and their people's people are getting paid. You look at the cycles, and it's 1, 2, or 3 cycles every single week for most of the people they have brought on, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 PET. And it's amazing, not regular. And I want you guys to really just go deep and share what you're doing. So thank you guys for everything that you are doing.
Oh, thanks for having us tonight. This is it's pretty neat. I spoke a couple weeks ago about, what my little story and how I kind of evolved with Isogenics. But like Stephanie said, Aaron pretty much came to me, introduced me to Isogenics. And it was one of those where he just kind of called me one day, and we've been best friends since 8th grade. So it was one of those things where he's just like, hey, I got something, you need to look at this now. And I'm all right. Now in the past we were kind of involved with some other multi-level marketing. So I think he attacked me more from the level of let's do this as a multi-level marketing type thing, to where I know you can't attack people like that. But it was just, I think, between him and I, with his excitement, he really got me going and got me excited. Now, when he came to us, start talking to Angie, on the other hand, was not.
No, you done lost your mind thinking we're going to pay all this money for some who knows what, and then we're going to talk to this woman from Arizona, and I'm like, this is nuts. Like, literally, I am the skeptic. of the relationship. So we definitely, I was not a big fan of multi-level marketing plans just because of the ones bad that are out there that you get involved with. And so I was definitely the skeptic. But then all of a sudden, Damon's like started looking better, feeling better. His temperament at this point, when Aaron talked to him, was he needed something. You know what I mean? We needed something, get him out of this funk. And he started to get out of his funk. And I'm kind of watching him like, why is he so happy all of a sudden? Like, you know what I mean? Like walking around kind of feeling good, got a little pep in his step. And then second month, he starts to drop all this weight and starts to enroll people. And I'm like, and we had money. Like he had like money, you know, coming in. And I was like, there's like $50. We got $50, you know, like that's a big deal. So I think from like him, he was sold day one. So I bought the belly buster. I was like, well, I'll try this, you know, I'll give this a whirl. And then 2 weeks in, I decided, I'll do a 30-day pack. And then I wanted some of his happy juice, I guess is the best way to explain it. I was like, he just was happy. And that was nice to see him happy. And having success with this was a huge thing for him to start enrolling people and people calling him and noticing.
Right. Like I said, I started this in April, and I told Aaron I wouldn't go out and sell it or promote it until I had some success with it. And, you know, I hate to say it, the way it kind of fell off kind of quickly. You know, and then obviously that's when we were introduced to Jim Lupkin's, you know, Facebook training. You know, I guess my view is I'm not going to, you know, reinvent the wheel here. I followed that step for step. I didn't try to make up my own stuff. You know, I know Aaron and I one day sat at the coffee shop, and I printed off all my notes from that, and we sat down, and he's like, "You did what? It was that easy?" And I'm like, I keep it personal. When I contact people, I keep it personal. The first sentence, the second sentence is very, hey, how you doing? Hey, I saw your kids are getting big. I mean, just something real simple. And then I go right into, you know, hey, you know, I had a great friend, obviously Aaron, introduced me to a product, and, you know, it deals with, and I named the 5 areas, and I even throw wealth creation in there because I figure, you know, there's some people that, you know, it need it, you know. You know, Mike Klaus's wife the other day, I watched her compensation plan. She was talking about who do you know, and you know, that's been kind of a big thing here lately. I've signed up a few people, and that's the first thing I say now is, who do you know? I mean, who do you know that is overweight? Who do you know that maybe a little bit more energy? Who do you know that maybe wants to make money? And it seems like everyone's always knowing somebody from that. So, you know, like I said, I started my second month and you know, did a good job at I guess being a walking billboard, you know, and I guess that was big with me was people started to notice, and honestly, you know, my pant sizes went down quickly. So people just started noticing this pretty quickly. So.
Well, this is my favorite story, is he is great at reaching out. Like behind Facebook, he's like rock star. He's like talking to everybody, he's sending emails, sending whatever.
I'm a rock star reaching out. Yeah, definitely.
But then he's got to call them, and
it goes downhill.
He's like, So I remember the one phone call. And
now Angie's in sales. So
right.
she is, that's cold calling is her thing.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, he wants the product. Just call him. What's the problem? Like, just call him. Like, he's interested. He's like,
not that easy.
So he calls this guy, and this guy's like, oh, you know, I just want to get a couple things, a performance pack or whatever. And I'm standing on the other side of our kitchen, and I'm like, no. Like, you are not just gonna let this guy just buy 1 or 2 things. Like, he needs to sign up on a pack. And I'm like pointing my finger, and Damon's face was like looking at me like, what do you want me to say to this dude? I'm like, listen, you know, we got like, so. I think that's kind of.
It was one of those where I'm like, hey, just a second, my wife's speaking with me. And she told me. So.
And he bought a pack.
He did buy a pack. So he ended up by buying a performance pack. So that was the first performance pack that I actually went through and sold. But I think the way, like I said, we connect people. I'm more comfortable. I don't want to say hiding behind Facebook, but that's where I go. I would recommend if you get the videos for Jim Lupkin. I mean, I honestly, I wrote notes out. I followed it word for word, and I did it. That was an easy way to connect with people. I mean, what I said is just I keep it personal. You know, I keep it short and sweet, and I always say, you know, hey, would you like more information? Or I send the video. I got into, as soon as you watch the video, let me know. I'll send you a free sample. That's one of the things I had at the end. It seemed to work out, and I started sending out some samples there. But I think it's been good with that connection. And I really haven't jumped on Facebook to reach out to a lot of, new friends. I think Aaron and I spoke one time that I just kind of went back through. I teach school, so I've got, every year I have 80, 100, 120 kids that go through. So it's easy for me to kind of go back and see and see people that I've actually spoke to in the past, and I can go back and just befriend them. I think high school kids and teachers, they like to see that. So that's been really good for us.
I think the big thing about people turning consultant I don't know for sure, but I think our success has been that we coach our people. Like, we're in constant contact with them. How are you doing? What's going on? How can I help? Blah, blah, blah. And they're just
probably over the top.
Maybe a little annoying, but they're my friends too. Like, a lot of the ones that have moved up are friends, and try to give them the tools that if someone does ask you, because you are dropping 20, 30 pounds, people notice, like, what do you say to them? Like, how do you, well, yeah, thanks, I lost weight. No, hey, I have this awesome product. Would you be interested in learning about it? Like, just having people have that knowledge to just ask. And then we jump in when they are signing somebody up. We are 100% involved in that whole process. Like, they're calling us, we're helping them. Like, they have confidence then that, they know what to do. You know what I mean? And we're there. And I was just messaging people that are new customers of one of our new consultants, because she's like, can you just text her and make sure she's doing okay? She's going to do her first cleanse day. Absolutely. It's like I feel like we're going off of Stephanie. Like, Stephanie doesn't need to Damon or I, but she does, which encourages us. And we learned from Stephanie, like, you feel that love, then you're going to keep passing that love down. Mm-hmm. And I think that's huge. And we personally want them to be successful, because it sucks to feel terrible. I felt terrible 3 months ago. I didn't necessarily need to lose a ton of weight, but I felt like sluggish. I still kind of have a bad attitude, but it was a worse attitude than it is right now. So I think that is the big thing.
I think what we've done is the people that we've gotten in, the people that are building the business right now are good people. I think we surround ourselves with good people. I think it's important, and you never know who's going to build a business. We're dealing with one of my best friends right now that keeps telling us, I'm not building a business. I'm not building a business. And he's got like 5 people signed up. Comes today, ends up, he was a teacher. He's out. He come to visit today. A teacher in his department says, what are you doing? He goes, hey, I think I'm going to sign up him and his wife. And I go, hold it, you're not building the business. So
you're not building business, right, Scott?
So we're trying to, he's gotten he's pulled like 3 or 4 teachers out from underneath me. So he's hurt me personally, but he's definitely, I think learning. We got to talk to him and just kind of, because he just kind of sets him up, talks him through it, and says, okay, we're good. And I'm like, man, you need to keep talking to him. So I've been going around talking to him at school, so it's been a little bit easier.
Just coaching him. Like, like one of the girls, she did the Ionic Supreme the whole time for cleanse day. Like, she didn't know she was supposed to use the cleanse.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, so those are the things where we're like, so we just got to, hey, Scott, you got to coach him up a little bit more. He's doing great. And he's just being real blase about it, which is good. I think it's good, but want to make sure that even if he isn't, send them to us and we'll send them all the right information.
Right.
Because the more successful they are, the more successful he is. And you know what I mean? It just goes on up, I guess.
Like you say, I think with the connection, it's mostly Facebook. It's 100% Facebook. What we say, we just keep it simple. Moving people to consultants. I think we surround ourselves by good people, but I think it goes along the line. My motto is making the world healthier, one friend at a time. And that's kind of what I've been sticking with this whole thing. Aaron and I just talked this afternoon, and obviously Jill and they asked, why do you think Damon's successful? He was, because he cares about the people. He cares about the health. Now, the money's okay, but I think my goal here is that I see people in need. I've got family members that are way overweight, and I see how bad they hurt. My dad was here the last couple of days, and he's a large man, and he's walking around. And I'm like, man, I can help you out, but you can't. We always talk about you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And that's kind of the approach we've been taking with him. Now he asked 1,000,001 questions today, which is good. I think from a business standpoint of how we build it together, I think we're still learning that. You know, we started really in April and May, and really, Angie, you didn't jump on until what, June, July?
Yeah, really.
I mean, so we've only been hitting this for a couple months running.
Well, like we were talking about, like Damon's really good at reaching out, and it's funny because I'm in sales and I don't feel comfortable reaching out right now. I'm not comfortable there yet. So I did start. I'm starting the 3 people, and I started doing that. But I'm really good at grabbing all these people and coaching them. Like I like to grab them, put them all together. So like I feel like our roles eventually will be Damon definitely leading the charge and getting people in, and me coordinating groups and calls and Zoom calls. We want to start doing like team Zoom calls and stuff like what we're doing here, adding the people to this. Like that part is where I kind of have some strengths. And then I obviously have strengths in Damon following up. Like he does a really good job of reaching out, but I'm like, I get in his Franklin Covey and I'm like, did you follow up? You know, follow up. Sorry, I'm a little turbo, but that's, you know what I mean? I'm like, follow-up is huge. Like I just got off the phone with my friend Sarah, one of our consultants. She had 3 people tonight. And she's like, I don't know. I was like, I sent her the message. You need to message them now. Like, it's so great to talk to you. Let's set up a time to meet. Send them the video. And she's like, okay. Okay. And I'm like, I know it's nerve-wracking, but you can do it. And I'm here and I'll meet with you if you want me to. Like, just having her feel supported, I think, made her feel like she can do it.
Yeah. I think another thing, you know, I think it's keeping it simple. It's the old KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. You know, I learned that a long time ago playing college football. It's my college football's motto, keep it simple, stupid. And I think that's the route that we've taken with this, you know. I just, you know, again, Jim Lumpkin's been great, taking his stuff and going through it and following it. You know, it's nice to talk to Aaron. You know, we chit-chat actually more than probably the last 15 years combined in the last 3 months. But it's been good from that.
And Stephanie's supporting.
Yeah, and Stephanie,
you're just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesomely motivating.
It's good to have support like this. You know, people, you gotta grab onto it. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy to ask for help or go out. You know, I am dealing right now with one of my assistant wrestling coaches. His wife's in another program, and she is irate right now with her upline. And
we're like, we love our upline.
Yeah, we're like, we love ours. You know, so it's like, you know, it's funny to hear other horror stories that's going on just right now. But, you know, I think connecting with people that are upline are more than willing to help. It's good to talk with people. It's just celebrate, you know, being with people.
Your thing is go after the big dog. Like, I feel like don't be afraid to go after the people that, like Stephanie said, are good people that maybe you're a little intimidated by or whatever. But like, we have a member right now that owns a gym in town, and we're she signed up and she's got a couple people underneath her, and she's one of our needier consultants, but we're going to ride that train. Like, you know what I mean? We're going to baby her, and she's never lost weight on any other program. I never thought she 25 pounds down, but I never thought that we would go after her, but we did. We tag teamed that with Sarah, and it was huge. That
was my famous, let's sit at the deli at Martin's talks. So I was talking to Aaron today about that, you know, and Aaron, you know, we talked about that because he said right from the get-go, I mean, my top 10 people, I went after right away. I mean, it was the big dogs and everything. So I think Aaron's children are taking over the picture
so
here. His twins. So no, I don't know if Stephanie she's kind of disappeared on me. I don't know if you're wanting anything else or have any questions. They may have any questions because, I mean, like I say, we're new to this, so this has all been it's a fun ride. Yeah, if you have any fun ride if you have any good advice, and you know. It's like I say, I think the Zoom calls have been great. The Facebook training's been great. And it's nice Angie's on board now and supporting us and what we're trying to do. So any questions?
You know, I'm sure that they do have some questions, so I would love for them to ask. But a couple of things I just want to point out is you guys are doing this textbook, like you said. You're following the steps. You're not creating the wheels. And so you do what you're told, whether it's through Isogenics or Jim or the 90-day game plan or whatever it is. And you're like, okay, great. We need to do this. So we do this. You don't really question it. And that's very, very important for everyone, I think, to really, truly hear and understand that. The second thing, I'd love for you just to touch on this, and we only have a few more minutes, but you are doing, now many of your people have expanded from this, but you're really starting them at being consultants, whether it's husband and wife or like father and son. You have those situations of, hey, I'm bringing in this person, and then you give them the suggestion of, well, why don't you bring in this person, become a consultant? Can you share that just a little bit? Because you've made so many of those.
I don't know. I was typing on the message board back to people. What did you say, Stephanie? I'm sorry.
Okay. So you're going with the when you make your consultants, because you pop them out really fast. And so a lot of the consultants that you're popping out are the scenario of what husband and wife, or you bring in one spouse and they bring in a friend. They bring in a friend, and then you automatically bring in the spouse so that you can make that trio.
Right. Well, I think we learned that from you. Like, you definitely said that I signed up my family. I signed them, like Damon signed up my entire family, but they went underneath me. And my sister had her husband. We signed my sister up, and then she signed up her husband. And then my dad signed up, and my dad signed up my mom. So like, all they have to do is add a person. That's it. And so it makes it really simple. So like, we might not get those PIBs second person, but who cares? Because we instantly will have a consultant. Like our friend Sarah, that's exactly right. We set it up the way that Stephanie told us. Set somebody up, even if you're not getting those PIBs, that person, then they get $50 too, or whatever it is that they get. Then they get extra motivation. And then if they just add one person, they're immediately a consultant. Like it's kind of really a no-brainer. I think it was really good advice. I feel like we still aren't sure people all the time. And I feel like we ask you often, like, how should we be adding this person? But setting them up for success has been huge, because they have to add one person, and then if you get certain legs, one of our friends have cycled so much because Damon's been putting people underneath, and then so they're in our left leg, where it's not even the business building leg. They're in our left leg, but we've had so much people going in there. We've got 2 consultants on that side now. So that was the other thing is we're learning to move it on either side of the tree. It goes in the business building leg, but you need to build on the left leg too. So we're still learning that. I think we're doing it right. We're doing 2 right now. I think.
Excellent. You guys do. All right. I'm going to turn it over for questions. And if you guys want to unmute and go ahead, there might be a couple of questions from the group. Or not. Can do whatever.
No.
Perfect.
All right, great. Do you guys have any idea how many people you have on your team right now? And Damon, you started at the mid-March, right? And then, or April. And then Angela, you really didn't step in until June.
Right. No, I think I just signed somebody up tonight, so that's positive, right? I think I'm at like maybe 16 or 17 personally signed up.
I've got 3 on my right and my family on my left. Oh, but the good thing is my whole 30 sister, my sister that was like all whole 30, not doing this, she's going to buy a pack. So I know, it's so great. But she's struggled with all these things. And I'm like, listen, what's it going to hurt? Try it. So she's been doing the cleanses, but she's going to do a pack, and she's trying to get her boyfriend to do a pack. So I'm doing the same thing with her. I'm going to sign her boyfriend up underneath her. I think I can do that with, I'm not sure. I guess I should ask you that. But boyfriend underneath her, and then as soon as she gets somebody else, and that's what I said, well, if you get somebody else, Chris, then you'd get, and she was like, oh, I think once you just kind of are point blanked with people about, you can actually make $100 doing nothing, basically to sign somebody up. They're like, oh, okay, I can get $100. I know this guy. Why don't we call this guy? Okay. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So guys, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and interject right now, because we love your questions. But again, I want to commend you guys. You're doing it exactly like how it's suggested. And it's just flowing perfectly. So for all of us that question, am I doing it right? How do I do it? Who do I reach out to? What do I do? You have those questions too, but then you just find your answer, whether it's from Isogenics or 90 Day or the team or Jim or whoever it is, right? You find your answer and you just turn around and do it. So you're really truly not questioning what to do. It's just a question of how do I do it right at that moment. And that there's a lot of confidence in that by itself, and then you're not wasting time. You're just going through and doing it. And so you guys are the perfect example of using what other people have already taught you or what they're teaching you and just putting it to use. And that's where the duplicatability comes into play, because what I taught Aaron taught you, you're teaching your people, you're teaching Scott's teaching his people, and it's just continuing down the line. And it is that perfect example. And I want to thank you guys for doing that and being there. Does anyone have any questions? Or I think you guys are just kind of blew them all away. So
yeah, I wanted to comment about the samples. Like, I would say we have a huge success with the samples. Like, they've got to be pretty interested before we send them out. And then, I don't know, I think it's okay, but like they definitely, what Damon learned was they've got to give something for you to give something. So we don't just give them a sample. They've got to be in constant communication with us and earn it and be interested. Sometimes it's a good selling point. Sometimes it's not. We did schedule our first tasting. Well, there's this tasting that Jill and Aaron are hosting in Indy tomorrow. Damon's going to drive down for that. And then we're hosting one in Napanee. And my friend Sarah, she's like, I want it at my house. So she's going to host it. So that's our first tasting. So that is going to be a sample thing. But I wanted to comment from Christina's comment about her and Mary Kay. Like, I think it's great. Like, I think it's great. And I feel loved that I'm not the only cuckoo for Cocoa Puff on here. So thanks, Christina. And then there was something else I wanted to say. But everybody, just thank you for all such inspirations to us. I feel like I don't know. And I guess my mind has been changed about multi-level marketing. I'm not as big of a skeptic anymore.
Yeah. Fantastic. I'm glad you're not. Well, thank you for being that example. And it's so important, again, because if someone can do it, everyone else can do it. And we all have our ups and downs in this type of business. Maybe we started as a skeptic and didn't totally believe in it. You know, maybe the weight loss didn't happen exactly as we wanted to in the beginning. Maybe it just fell off. But seeing everyone's stories and seeing the success that can happen just by following, trusting, believing, and working hard. And you guys work hard. You have the numbers and you show that it can absolutely happen. And so I want to thank you guys for doing that. Thank all of you guys for being here and being a part of this entire journey. I mean, just today alone was a lot of teamwork. We built up to this. Right, you don't just build up to selling all kinds of cookies and cream. This is from all the work that we have done previously to get them excited about seasonal shake. The trust and belief that whatever the company comes out with, people are going to like. Right, that doesn't just happen. That's from all of our previous work and posts and the trust and belief that we've had with the company in our history. So you guys are all just doing an incredible job and really making a difference to every single person that you touch. And believe that and know that every single day. So whether it's one person that you touch a day or the 3 times rule, whatever it is, whatever system that you're following, you are making that difference. And it shows in so many different ways. So thank you again, Angie and Damon. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Aaron. And all of you for being on the call. The next part of the 90-day game plan that we'll continue to dive in. And Linda Stradinsky will be speaking next week about events. Linda, I'll just tell you her quick story real fast because it's imperative to know this too. You know, we all come in and out of this business. The door swings open, it swings shut. It's whatever you want it to do, which is the freedom of everything. And Linda took a decent amount of time off last year to kind of figure some stuff out, went to Celebration, and she figured it out. She figured it out. She wants it. And so she made the decision. She wanted that 3-star training. She wants that extra $1,000. She wants to win shopping spree. She wants to enroll 20 new people. So within, I think it was 6 days, she enrolled, I think she's up to 7 at this point, because she's out there and doing exactly what we're told to do. You connect, you call. So she's going to share that with us next week. I will share, I've always shared in the past, it's important to have events. And so with Jill's event tomorrow and the next one scheduled for the following week, Annie's got one for Saturday, Mary Kay and Christina just scheduled one, I think, for Friday. When you have those events, your attitude gets high because you have something to do and something that's excited. Linda did have a down day yesterday as I'm congratulating her and whatever. She's like, no, I don't think so. But I found out today, this is what she said to me. She's like, I was having a down day, so when you asked me to speak, I really didn't want to. She's like, but I've got my event today. I'm going to Tucson, and I'm going to rock it. I'm like, perfect example. Always have an event scheduled, whether it's a meeting, a belly-to-belly, something, a Zoom, whatever it is. If you have an event, you can bring yourself up to give people what they need from us. So always make sure to do that. So she'll be next week. Study page 8 and 10. This is going to be your homework assignment. 8, 10, and 12. 8, 10, 12, 13. Actually, really, let's just go 8 through 15 is all connecting. And so study those pages. It's all about connecting, which is what Angela and Damon shared with you tonight, what Brent shared with you yesterday, what Linda's going to share with you next week, and what you guys are doing. It's everything that you're already doing. Just have a really big purpose and be very intentional about how you share. With that, guys, let's go ahead and end tonight's call. Thank you again, Damon, Angela, for speaking tonight. Thank you guys all for being here and just being you. And really, what an incredible team. I posted yesterday all the posts you guys are doing. Left and right, people are making comments about how much it's uplifting them. So continue on, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. You can say bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Damon, Angela, fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we talk too much? I don't know. It's always nerve-wracking.
No, I'll stop recording. Hold on.
Oh.